It's Ezra Levant for TheRebel.media. I am in northern Iraq in a blistering hot refugee camp I call the Forgotten Camp, because these are people that have been forgotten about by the important people, by the diplomats and the politicians and the media of the West. They're the throwaways. They're the Yazidis, an ancient, obscure religious minority who were the first victims of ISIS. ISIS slaughtered the men and took their women as rape slaves, prizing them because of their blue eyes. The ones who survived, many of them are here. Other throwaways include Christian Arabs who cannot go to United Nations refugee camps because they're persecuted there again by ISIS sympathizers, and they simply are not safe from the other refugees in those UN refugee camps. There's also some Muslim minorities like the Turkmen who also would be persecuted by the Sunni majority in the refugee camps. I'm pleased to say that there is some support for this camp. The Kurdistani regional government, I see on our entryway that Japan has supported. Other flags I see on different elements include that of the United States, Australia, Poland. I even saw a small Canadian flag on the maternity ward here, which is a busy place. That's part of Stephen Harper's project of spending foreign aid to help reduce infant mortality. Alas, they tell us that that funding is being cut off by the Trudeau government, replaced by abortion spending, $250 million. You can watch Faith Goldie's video for more news on that change. But these people are generally thrown away, and they're not going to leave this baking desert sun because they're not in any official refugee intake system. There is one NGO I want to point out. Walking through this camp, I saw giant murals like this. This is sponsored by a German NGO. I'm going to try and pronounce it, Institute for Auslandbeziehungen. Forgive me for mispronouncing that. It was actually drawn by some very artistic kids here in the camp. And it's very beautiful, the images here. You can see it's a church tower, the bell tower with the cross on top of it. Those tents in the middle, that's the Yazidi style, those tents. And then over on the side, the dome and the minaret of the mosque, all living together in harmony. There's a few more of these child drawings around the park, sponsored by this NGO. One of them showing trees holding hands. Another one showing the church, the mosque, and the Yazidi tents all hugging each other. It's beautiful, and I can see why a progressive leftist German NGO would think that that's something they want to promote. And it is utopian, isn't it? But I think the very existence of this place proves it a lie. The fact that every person here was marked for murder by the Islamic State, who find their motivations in the Quran, I think that proves it a lie. I think the fact that the UN system and the world regards these people as throwaways, these lambs are pushed to the back of the line while the wolves are pulled to the front, I think that proves this utopianism a lie. And even this camp itself, well, even here, where they try to live harmoniously, they still live apart. The Christian Arabs live separately from the Yazidis, who live separately from the Turkmen. I'm afraid this utopian vision, it's just not real life. For TheRebel.media, I'm Ezra Levant. I'm here in a forgotten refugee camp in northern Iraq. If you want to learn more about our journalistic mission and our humanitarian mission, visit SaveTheChristians.com.